Okay, guys, we're back. Again, thank you so much to Robert Sykes for coming on from Keto Savage. We much appreciate it. That was a great interview.
Yeah,
I know
thanks. Yeah,
I learned a lot.
that was awesome. Really appreciate you coming on. Thanks, Robert.
All right. So we're going to dive into our optimal concept of the week. And this week, we're going to talk about the law of attraction. Literally hundreds and hundreds of books have been written about the law of attraction. I think probably one of the most famous ones is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That one specifically talks a lot about from a financial aspect and how you can shape your mind and shape your activities to use the law of attraction to your advantage when it comes to gaining wealth. However, it works for everything. I mean, let's be honest, it's going to work for your finances, of course, but it's also going to work for your love life, for things that you want out of life. And in our case, one of the big things we want to talk about today is how you can use it to better your overall health. Because just as you can do with the finances, you can focus so much on your health. And we want to talk a little bit about what that might look like in somebody's daily routines on if they're using the laws of attraction to gain health.
Yeah, so I think one of the most important things is how can you recognize what it is that your goal is. And I know it sounds kind of silly, but like, do you have, I have a lot of people that if their goal is to become better at mobility or getting stronger or becoming, getting out of pain, or if they're trying to get leaner or they have a vacation coming up or whatever it is that their goal, they have to make an org board, like an organization board or something with like bullseyes. In the middle of that dartboard, the center bullseye is what you need to work on daily to get to your goal. On the surrounding circles, maybe something that you can work on, a couple days a week, and then on the outside, maybe not things that you have to do daily, but they're still on your radar. Whatever it is, you got to have that reminder possibly. I know you mentioned something off air about putting something on your cell phone, in the background is as something that you are focusing in on to attract to you. So obviously it's one of those things too, where we talked about affirmations and saying things first thing in the morning. I think this just becomes into like, what are you trying to draw closer to you or bring yourself closer to? I know it kind of sounds like back and forth, but I guess it's just perspective of what you want coming towards you. And maybe you can share some tips on what you do daily.
So like Jim said, I did, when it came to something that I wanted very badly, which was the house, I got presented with an opportunity to buy a house, and I really didn't think it was kind of going to be a possibility, but I wanted it. I've wanted it very badly. And I put a picture of the house on my cell phone, and daily I focused on different ways to find a possibility to eventually be able to buy that house. And as we talk, I'm sitting in that house and we're podcasting live from that house. So it took me about 6 months to come up with a strategy to buy this, and something that I thought was relatively impossible, I used the law of attraction to attain it. Now, again, going back to the health standpoint, what are some things that I would consider? Number one, I would definitely start living as if you're already having what you want. So if you live like you're sick, I hate to say it, but you're going to stay sick. And we see that all the time in our clinics. And so many people focus on their pain, they focus on their pain, they focus on their pain. Well, that kind of attracts more pain. You have to start switching that mindset up and start focusing on health. Live your day like you have health. Start thinking that you have health. Don't surround yourself with people who are like you. And I hate to say that, but and here again, I'm not picking on any of my patients, but Jim, I'm sure you've seen this in your practice. I don't advertise really at all. I get almost all of my patients by referral, but I'll notice that somebody who refers a patient tends to refer somebody like them. Mm-hmm. And if we get one of these patients who happen to have chronic pain, and we want to treat everybody, we want to help them, but we find that they end up being friends or referring people who are like them, who are also in chronic pain. And they kind of come together and gather around this idea of, well, I'm sick all the time. Well, if you keep that mindset, unfortunately, you're going to stay sick. And there's no amount of adjusting. There's no amount of changing a diet or a medicine or something that's going to get you well, because your mindset is you're sick.
Yeah, they've had that mindset where it's poor me, or it's been almost just been brought to this level of this is as good as it gets. But then when they meet someone like us, and this could be for anybody out there who's taking care of somebody, you almost bring them up to a level that they never knew they could be at. You know what I mean? And it's really awesome to see people, like I'll get text messages and I like to share them, but it's an anonymous share on like social media. but people will mention something more like, hey, I came in with such a poor attitude today. I just wanted to thank you for turning my day around. And of course you get the happy, the adjustment changed my life. I had someone the other day who's like, that adjustment, it released my soul or something to that effect. And those are fun to get too, but I think it's the person who walks in, you can tell that life is just kicking their butt emotionally and it's starting to take a mental strain on them, and to bring them up and be that positive, whether it's 15 or 30 minutes that we get with them, it's awesome. That's kind of one of the most favorite things that I enjoy about our job, is to be able to pull somebody up and bring them to a level that maybe they don't get on the regular, and that's fun. The other thing I was going to say too is you made a good point about relationships, and on the back of my phone, if I could share a little bit too, there's a picture of me and my wife Allie and our dogs, and we don't have kids yet, but I think it's something important that I'm striving to be the best partner I can in a relationship. And then also, like, I want to try to be the best dog I can be, and if it's something where I show, like you said, somebody a stretch or a mobility drill or put my hands on them, that right now is the most important thing to me. And then of course, like, taking care of my health, because I can't take care of anybody if I'm not well, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
all good stuff.
I definitely think that we can all use this law of attraction and start doing things to strategize our own future. And whether it be, I'll find myself using Pinterest as a visualization board. If there's something that I want, and it can be material things at times. You don't have to be feeling like you're being greedy or something. If I want to build a new man cave or something, I want to get a picture of a cool man cave and have like 10 or 15 different things. If I want a vacation home on the beach, then I'm going to put a bunch of pictures of vacation homes on the beach, because when I see that and look at it and remind my brain, I start to incorporate activities into my daily life that are going to allow me to achieve that. Again, it's no different compared to health. If you want to be able to go out and play with your kids, you need pictures of when you did play with your kids, or start saying that. Use the affirmations. We've talked about affirmations usually, so many times. Get a routine of doing 10 to 15 affirmations, look at them in the mirror, put them on your mirror, do them while you're brushing your teeth. Or I will use audiobooks, and Audible's pretty cool. And it has a lot of different programs, and they're cheap. If you don't have the subscription, they're like $4 or something, and they'll give you 50 different affirmations for love, 50 different affirmations for health and wealth or whatever. I have one, I think that it's got like 1,000 affirmations, and it was like one credit on my Amazon or my Audible, and it's got all these different ones, and some are repeats here and there, but it's so cool. And I'll take 5-10 minutes, even play it on a little faster, 5-10 minutes in the morning while I'm doing my cardio, and I'm sitting there listening, and I'll repeat them. And I don't care what it looks like, because I'm in my own house, and even if I were out somewhere else, who cares?
Yeah, you're in your zone, and it works for you.
Yeah,
it's awesome. I always enjoy talking about this too, and it's something I'm working on recently, and I kind of got to thank you, because I haven't been doing anything when it came to meditation or self-care up here in the brain until the last probably month and a half, and it's changed my life. I thank you.
Well, and we will go further into this at some point, but there's a book that really got me supercharged on all of this, and it's about the morning routine, and it's by a gentleman named Hal Elrod, and I'm hoping that maybe we can even get him on as a guest at some point, which would be just sweet, because he's got a series of books, and we'll talk a little bit specifically about that, but I'll want to save a bit of it in case we're able to get him on here.
Cool.